آبادی ہر زمانہ سن لے یہ لگائے ہادی لا نبی آبادی خود میرے نبی نے بات بتا دی لا نبی آبادی لمحہ لمحہ کا تاکنے ہوا کے جگمگا والا آخری شریعت کوئی آنے والی اور لانے والا لہجائے خدا میں آپ نے صدا دی لا نبی آبادی خود میرے نبی نے بات بتا دی لا نبی آبادی رسول جتنے ان کے ہر سخن میں نظم ہو گئے ہیں بھی کے سارے رستے آپ تک پہنچ کر ختم ہو گئے ہیں ذات حرف آخر بات انفرادی لا نبی آبادی خود میرے نبی نے بات بتا دی لا نبی آبادی بقائے عالم صرف نام ان کے کر دیا خدا نے ان کی خوش نصیبی جن کے ہیں وہ آقا جو علوم کے گونجے وادی وادی آپ کی منادی لا نبی آبادی خود میرے نبی نے بات بتا دی لا نبی آبادی ان کے بعد ان کا مرتبہ کوئی بھی پائے گا نہ لوگوں زیا بروزی اب کوئی پیغمبر آئے گا نہ لوگوں آپ نے یہ کہہ کر مہر ہے لگا دی لا نبی آبادی خود میرے نبی نے بات بتا دی لا نبی آبادی
نحمدہ ونصلی ونسلم علی رسولہ الکریم. अम्मा बाद फ़ाऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम नाज़रीन व सामीन इकराम अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू. Viewers, today we will discuss the statement given by my cousin Dr. Yahya in a stream. So I hand over the mic to Dr. Sayyid Samar Rizvi Sahab to proceed further.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Can you hear me on this, Shams bhai?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, this program is going to be conducted in English language because we have viewers in the Western countries who understand English much better than other languages, and they have demanded us to give our views on the recent interesting debate between Qadiani and non-Qadiani debaters. Ladies and gentlemen, it's quite a delightful moment and delightful day because we are going to take reflections of highly educated and learned Pai Saiba on this debate between Zia Rasool and Dr. Yahya. This debate unfolded a truth which Qadianiat kept hidden for a long time. Therefore, it attracted the attention of millions of people even across the oceans. Mirza Sahib did blasphemy of almost all the prophets, but what he did and said about Isa alayhi salam is beyond imagination. I would like to introduce about the debate. Mirza Sahib was of the view that the word Hasuran is it is mentioned in Surah Al Imran. This word means to protect it or to be protected from uh, different kinds. For example, he said that this word is not used for Isa alayhi salam. The reason he said that he was involved in fornication, adultery, and drinking alcohol. Maazallah, summa maazallah. Therefore, he said this word is only used for Hazrat Yahya alayhi salam, John the Baptist. As you know, their books are full of convoluted and twisted statements, which sometimes they themselves don't understand. The similar took place in this debate. Dr. Yahya was speechless for a moment on one question asked by Zia Rasool. The answer to the question was straightforward, but his vocal cords could not withhold so much pressure to pour out the reality, because he knew that it's going to shake the pillars of Qadianiyat. This is the very first time that the Qadiani people accepted that Mirza Sahib was pointing towards the Lord of the Christians. And we very well know who is the Lord of the Christians. You can read Holy Quran, verse 72. Therefore, finding a very good opportunity, I would cordially request Pai Saiba to give us her views on the said debate. Pai Saiba, you are most welcome on the stream. Thank you.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I would first of all like to thank Dr. Samar Rizvi Sahab for calling me to talk about today's session and today's topic. From the Holy Quran and the Hadith, it is very evident that Jesus Christ is a true prophet and is a clear indication of the day of resurrection. And we all know that he will descend from the heavens when the day of resurrection draws near. The Holy Quran itself is full of the descriptions about Jesus Christ. And it tells about the dignity and purity of his respectable mother, Mary alayhi salam. However, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has been denying the beliefs having a unanimous support of all the sects of Muslim Ummah. When Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani thought of claiming to be Jesus himself, he violated all the canons of morality. He made use of such derogatory and unhealthy and abusive language, and he levied such false charges against Jesus Christ and his mother, Mary, that makes one feel ashamed of leveling against an ordinary person. It was a great tyranny that British government at that time and the Christians themselves began to defend these Qadianis. And is the case so even today? This fact is simply beyond doubt that all the prophets and the apostles sent by Allah Almighty have always been sacred and pious families, and the glory and sanctity of the messengers of Allah has been mentioned at various places, not only in the Holy Quran, but also in the books of Hadith. Today, we are going to have a quick glance of what the Holy Quran tells us about Mary alayhi salam, the mother of Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ as well. Now we quickly come to verse 33 of Surah Al Imran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله اصطفى آدم ونوحا وآل إبراهيم وآل عمران على العالمين. Indeed, Allah has chosen Adam and Noah and the family of Abraham and the family of Imran over the worlds. Again, at verse 42 of Surah Al Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasizes the glory of Mary alayhi salam in the following words. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَاكِ وَطَهَّرَكِ وَاصْطَفَاكِ عَلَى نِسَاءِ الْعَالَمِينَ. And mention when the angel said, O Mary, indeed, Allah has chosen you and purified you and chosen you above the women of the world. Now we quickly come to Surah Maryam. Verse 16 of Surah Maryam states, وَاذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ مَرْيَمَ إِذِ انْتَبَذَتْ مِنْ أَهْلِهَا مَكَانًا شَرْقِيًّا فَاتَّخَذَتْ مِنْ دُونِهِمْ حِجَابًا فَأَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهَا رُوحَنَا فَتَمَثَّلَ لَهَا بَشَرًا سَوِيًّا. And mention, O Muhammad, in the book the story of Mary when she withdrew from her family to a place towards the east, and she took in seclusion from them a screen. Then we sent to her our angel Gabriel, and he represented himself to her as a well-proportioned man. قالت إني أعوذ بالرحمن منك إن كنت تقيا. She said, indeed I seek refuge in the most merciful from you, so leave me if you should be fearing of Allah. قال إنما أنا رسول ربك لأهب لك غلاما زكيا. قالت أن يكون لي غلام ولم يمسسني بشر ولم أكو بغيا. He said, I am the only the messenger of your Lord to give you news of a pure boy, that is, son. And she said, how can I have a boy while no man has touched me and I have not been unjust? Now, when we look at the books of Ahadith, the sanctity of Mary alayhi salam is mentioned over there as well. And we quickly refer to Sahih Bukhari. The first hadith is number 3411, and I quickly come to its translation. Hazrat Abu Musa Ash'ari rahmatullah alayh narrates that the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, said that Hazrat Jesus alayhi salam has been perfect among men and none has been perfect in women except Pharaoh's wife Asiya and Imran's daughter Mary. And Aisha's superiority to women is like that of a sareed, a kind of food to all the meals. There is another narration number 3431, and I quickly go to its translation. Hazrat Abu Hurairah narrates that Satan touched the human beings while they take birth, and they weep except Hazrat Mary and her son Jesus. Afterward, Hazrat Abu Hurairah recited a verse. وَإِنِّي أُعِيذُهَا لَكِ وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا مِنْ شَيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. O Allah, I seek your refuge for this girl and her offspring from Satan. So from the verses of the Holy Quran and Ahadith Mubarakah, we conclude that the parents of Hazrat Mary alayhi salam were prominent among the people of their time. They were the favorites of Allah. Mary alayhi salam gave birth to Jesus Christ without being touched by any mortal. Allah Almighty gave glad tidings of a word to Mary before the birth of Jesus Christ. Every child is touched by Satan at the time of birth, as a result of which he or she cries. But Mary alayhi salam and Jesus Christ were exceptions in this regard. Now let us check what stupid allegations and false accusations Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has raised in his books against Mary alayhi salam and Jesus Christ. The first one is from his book Ruhani Khazain, volume 11, page 291. The family of Jesus Christ was very pure and modest. 3 of his paternal and maternal grandmothers were adulterers and prostitutes, from whom blood the birth of Jesus took place. And perhaps it was a prerequisite for godhood. The association and inclination of Jesus Christ towards prostitutes was a result of his family background. Otherwise, a pious person cannot allow a young prostitute to place her impure hands over his head. The wise man can understand the conduct of such a person. From this abstract, we come to know that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani not only ridiculed the family background of Mary alayhi salam, but also Jesus Christ. Then at Ruhani Khazain, volume 19, page number 18, he said, people say that Mary did nikah during pregnancy against the teachings of Torah. But I say, I repeat, here Mirza Qadiani is referring to his own views. But I say that that happened because she was helpless and the circumstances compelled her to violate the Sharia of Torah. And a similar abstract from Ruhani Khazain, volume 18. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani wrote, the veraciousness and truthfulness of Jesus Christ was not better than other true people of his era. Even Prophet Yahya was superior to Jesus because he never consumed wine. Nor it was ever heard that prostitute added perfume to his head from her income. Nor any prostitute touched his body with her hands or hair. This was the reason that Holy Quran named Prophet Yahya Hasura. This point is very important. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has himself written that these have been the reasons that Holy Quran could not name Jesus Christ as Hasura, but it named Prophet Yahya Hasura. And the next thing, it could not name Jesus so, as all these incidents had forbidden such name to be given to him. The last reference that I have quoted over here, this page 220 of volume 18, this was referred to a discussion in a stream with Ahmadiya community. And the spokesperson of Jamaat Ahmadiya had given a challenge to the Muslim Ummah that their founder, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, never disrespected Jesus Christ. It was obviously a lame excuse, a lame claim of the Jamaat. It was very similar to the other ones given by the said community. But habitually, they all used to insist that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani did not use all these derogatory remarks for Jesus Christ. This was a very ridiculous answer though. But throughout the stream and throughout the last 132 years even, they have been trying to deceive the Muslim Ummah on one hand and the Christian community on the other hand. Now let me reproduce the claim, the challenge of Jamaat Ahmadiyya. Well, in the books, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has passed such disrespectful comments regarding Yasu or Masih. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has not intended to degrade Jesus Christ, the prophet of the Muslims. Rather, Mirza Sahib has addressed the Christian community, and he used all such derogatory remarks allegedly for the self-created God of the Christians. Now let me ask a question from the viewers of the stream. Whether we call the person Yasu or Masih or Isa ibn Maryam or Jesus Christ or even the Lord of the Christians, which personality come into your mind? And probably all of you will answer that whatever the name is given, only one personality comes into our mind, the Holy Prophet Jesus Christ, son of Mary alayhi salam. So what happened when this challenging stream took place? Mr. Zah Rasool, who was the Mujahid Khatm Nabuwat, he accepted the challenge and entered the stream. And after entering the room for the sake of discussion, he referred to the same reference of volume 18. And he asked the spokesperson of Ahmadiyya community that in the above reference of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, a personality is being discussed whose name has been mentioned in the Holy Quran, and that according to Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, that personality has not been named as Mahsura by the Holy Quran. And that the same personality has been disregarded in the passages. Which personality is that one? Though all the others kept insisting that it was not the Holy Jesus Christ, and initially, Mr. Yahya also resorted to the same tactic. Afterward, he said that the God of Christians is being discussed here by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. So Ziyarul Salamani again asked, who is the God of Christians? At this point, Mr. Yahya dared to refute his Jamaat's 132 years old claim by passing the following historical statement. Isa alayhi salam is a personality that is common among both Muslims and Christian community. Even his name is common among these communities. Muslims call him Isa ibn Maryam and Christians also call him son of Mary. So neither get confused nor confuse others, please. Wow, what an incredible statement. Mr. Yahya, the smart spokesperson of Ahmadiyya community, himself negated not only Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, but also all the other scholastic preachers of his community. And it is a very daring step on his behalf that he has refuted his whole community. So he has admitted that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani's statement, the name Jesus Christ or Isa ibn Maryam, wherever it is written, this very Isa ibn Maryam is the figure that is common among both the Muslims and the Christians. Now, when this puzzle is solved and it is evident that the whole discussion in the referred abstract revolves around Isa ibn Maryam, then all the such humiliating and derogatory remarks and statements of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani are simply blasphemous. The whole Ahmadiyya community, including Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani and all the Murabbis and the innocent members of the Jamaat, are resorting to blasphemy. Now, let me quickly tell you two things. The Qadiani in defiance of these references, take two, please. Number one, Mirza Qadiani has used words of abuse in respect of the fictitious Allah, Jesus. And number two, he has derived all this from Bible. Now, if we look at the first defiance, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani has himself confessed that Jesus Christ and Isa are the names of same person. And these references are there in the Ruhani Khazain, volume 20, page 29, and volume 3, page 52. So Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has not disgraced the fictitious Jesus. He has rather disgraced Jesus alayhi salam deliberately. And number two, Mirza Qadiani at many places called Hazrat Isa by name without using the word Jesus Christ. How can you defend them? As far as the second defiance is concerned, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has leveled charges against Hazrat Jesus alayhi salam. He has given false statement even about the existing Bible, and he has taken some words used over there and derived the conclusions himself. And something that have been mentioned in the Bible, Mirza Qadiani himself believes that it stands manipulated. He said this at volume 23, page 266. He says it has been mentioned at many places in the Holy Quran that these books have been tampered. So Mirza Qadiani has committed this crime deliberately and openly. And interestingly, Mr. Yahya, the spokesperson, the smart spokesperson of Ahmadiyya community, has admitted this fact. May Allah Almighty keep us on the right path leading to Jannah and guide all my ignorant brothers and sisters in Ahmadiyya community towards Islam. Ameen. Wama alayna illal balagh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Thanks a lot, Pai Saiba, for sparing time and joining our stream. Undoubtedly, you have made the subject very clear, and you have given your perspective as well. You quoted ahadith and verses from the Holy Quran. Really, it's been a pleasure with such lettered and knowledgeable person like you, alhamdulillah. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to get your comments and valuable views. All of you taking time out of your personal and professional schedules means the world to us, to me, to the host, and to Pai Saiba. I am really thankful to all those who have participated in this stream today. I would like to hand over the mic to Shams Sahab, and he will tell the rest of the decorum, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
डॉक्टर साहब बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मैं चलता हूँ बाबर भट्ट साहब की तरफ। बाबर भट्ट साहब, अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाह।
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Shams bhai, I think the show's in English. I'm so sorry, guys. You wanna hear a lot of noise here. There's a lot of things going on here. I'm not home. Actually, I do not have access to my Wi-Fi, and they're doing renovations here. So it's going to be a lot of disturbance, but I try my best to make it if I can. I'm on my data, and data is really slow. Today's a weekday here, Monday noon. It's really busy here, a lot of machines around me. So noise is going to be on and off. Hope everybody will bear it. I see my sister here. I see Dr. Samar Rizvi. Thank you so much to the panelists and the viewers. Could I know what is this today's show all about? Is it like last night we had a conversation that there's a video that is repeat by Qadianis and they got caught?
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. We have
Yeah.
been discussing the same video and we will play it shortly. We have discussed it in English for the sake of convenience of those people who could not understand Urdu, so that all the people and all the Christian people, the people belonging to the Christian community living abroad, they may come to know how Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has deliberately uttered such derogatory remarks for Jesus Christ, and how Mr. Yahya, the spokesperson of the community, has himself admitted that the personality that has been discussed at volume 18 is the same Jesus Christ, Isa ibn Maryam, who has been considered to be a very holy prophet by the Muslims community and Lord or God by the Christians even. So we will play the video shortly, and then we will have other comments from other people.
Thanks a lot, sister. Yes, I did watch that video again. I recall that I watched the video a couple of weeks before, and a lot of things went unnoticed. And then probably Shams Bhai, he had never watched the video. And second time in a repeat show, when he watched it and they got trapped. They got trapped. It is Shams Bhai. It would never leave anything unnoticed.
Exactly, this has happened.
Yeah, so I really salute brother Shams Bhai. It's going to be a lot of noise, as I told you. There are a lot of machines working around me. But the thing is, like you just said, sister, if I heard it correct, after 130 years, Shams Bhai revealed that Yuse Asif is not Jesus. They are two different individuals. Yuse Asif and Jesus are two different individuals. And just after 2 years, sorry, you can go ahead, sister, if you want to say something.
No, please proceed.
Oh, okay.
I'm just endorsing your viewpoint.
Okay, thank you. And second, just after 2 years, what he revealed, his real cousin, if I'm not wrong, is his immediate relative. He is probably his maternal cousin. What's the name of the guy? Dr. Yahya. He revealed a very interesting fact that Jesus and Yesu, they are same person, same individual. They are not different individuals. What happens actually, I watched this video last night again. Ziyar Sul, brother Ziyar Sul, when he enters the stream, just before that, Dr. Yahya, he claims that all his life has been working for his belief, and he concludes that all those blames that were put on other prophets, in the same way they were put on Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, and he can prove it from the Holy Quran. And as soon as Ziyar Sul Bhai enters the stream, I see a stampede there. Like they get so confused and they want to kick him out. They want to find any possible excuse. First they just try playing around with him. They say, okay, you gotta say those words, we use extra words like we call Azur sallallahu alaihi wasallam and those other words, and he says, no, I won't, because it hurts me. Well, the discussion goes on, and finally Brother Ziyar Rasul makes really a smart move when he says, okay, you guys can do that. I'll just call him Sahib. And when you guys use those extra words, I'll just, oh, okay. I'm sorry for interruption. Just take him. Okay. And then I'll just put fingers into my ears. You know, they do not have any possible excuse to remove him from the stream. And then Dr. Yahya steps forward and he says, okay, let him move ahead and let him ask the questions. The discussion starts. Jariullah still wanna actually terminate the discussion, but Ziyar Rasul cuts him off. He says, no, I'm talking to Dr. Yahya. Let the discussions move on. Then Ziyar Rasul is so determined, he just don't get kicked out from the stream. And he keeps arguing with Dr. Yahya. Dr. Yahya, at a certain point, he knows that he's going to a dead-end street. He's going to be stuck in here. Give me a second. My little one is actually, go inside, please. Go inside. Okay, then there isn't any loop. I'm so sorry.
Who was saying, okay, please mute his mic and don't let him say anything.
Oh yeah, my little one is just 4.5 years old. Anyways, so the discussion goes on, and it's not like Dr. Yahya, he did it on purpose. He didn't do it unintentionally. He knew that he's going to a dead-end street and he will get stuck there. Because when Ziyar Rasul he asked him a question, is Jesus and Yesu, are they two different persons or a same individual? And then he admits it. He says it's the same individual because he knows it very well that Ziyar Rasul has a reference handy, and he would put a reference on the screen. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad admitted in his writings that Jesus Christ and Yesu, they are the same names for single individual. He probably wants to terminate the discussion. He wants to get out of this, get rid of this this guy, this gentleman, Ziyar Rasul. So right away he admits that yes, he is the same individual. So we have been trying to make them understand, to tell them for 130 years that Jesus, Yesu, Yuse Asim, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad even admitted in his writings that he is the same individual. Anyways, I appreciate for speaking the truth, and it's the same family. They have truth somewhere hidden in their genes, in their blood. I appreciate, first of all, Brother Shams Uddin, and he is a member of the same family. So we believe Dr. Yahya is a well-educated, highly qualified person. He will return to Islam later or sooner. So that's all about it. I'm really sorry for inconvenience it may cause. There is a lot of machinery going around here. They are moving trucks and bulldozers, everything, and they're doing renovations. Thank you so much for granting me that time. Shams bhai sahab, मैं बड़ी माजरत चाहता हूँ. I just want to explain in Urdu for 1 minute. 1 minute के लिए मैं उर्दू में भी बता दूं. हमारे बहुत सारे दोस्त जो हैं वो इंग्लिश नहीं समझते, तो 1 मिनट मैं लूंगा. मैंने सैल्यूट किया है, सलाम पेश किया है शम्स भाई साहब को और इनके जो खाला के बेटे हैं डॉक्टर यह्या साहब को. शम्स भाई साहब ने 130 साल बाद इन्हें बताया कि यूज़े आसिफ एक मुख्तलिफ फर्द है और हजरत ईसा मुख्तलिफ हैं, और इसी खानदान के एक चश्मो चिराग इनके खाला के बेटे डॉक्टर यह्या साहब ने 2 साल बाद यानी 132 साल बाद ये मान लिया कि यसू और ईसा एक ही शख्स के नाम हैं. अगरचे हम बहुत कोशिश करते रहे इनको समझाने की, लेकिन ये ना माने. तो शम्सुद्दीन भाई की जो रिसर्च थी वो इतनी सॉलिड थी कि आज तक ये उनका चैलेंज नहीं तोड़ सके, और जो कुछ उनके मुंह से उगला गया वो कोई गैर इरादी तौर पे नहीं था। वो एक ऐसी गली में फंस रहे थे जहां से निकलने का कोई रास्ता नहीं था। ही कुड नॉट टर्न अराउंड, वो घूम भी नहीं सकते थे वहां से, वो डेड एंड स्ट्रीट
बादल
थी।
भाई, खरबूजा को देख के खरबूजा रंग पकड़ता है ना, बिकॉज बोथ आर कजन्स। तो एक जो है, अगर उन्होंने एक मार्का मारा था तो डेफिनेटली दूसरे ने कुछ ना कुछ तो करना था। सो वी आर सपोज्ड टू सैल्यूट बोथ।
I did actually. I did. I really appreciated both of them. They are the same family. जैसा कि like I just said कि they have the same genes, same blood. और दोनों में कहीं ना कहीं शम्स भाई तो माशाल्लाह वहां से आ गए, और ये बार बार यही कहते हैं कि इनसे झूठ नहीं बोला जाता। तो हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि उनके भी लाशऊर में कहीं ना कहीं सच छुपा हुआ है। ये एक ही फैमिली है, एक ही तरह का खून है, एक ही तरह के जीन्स हैं, और हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि इंशाल्लाह लेटर और सूनर, जल्द या बदेर, डॉक्टर यहिया साहब भी इस्लाम की तरफ आएंगे और उन्हें आना होगा। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सबके लिए।
बहुत शुक्रिया बाबर भट्ट साहब। मैं चाहूंगा कि आप एक मेरे बड़े प्यारे दोस्त इस वक्त टीम में मौजूद हैं, किदा, उनको जरा इनवाइट कर दीजिए।
Oh, I see, brother Bashir. Welcome to the show, brother. You hear me, brother?
अस्सलामुअलैकुम भाई, कैसे हो सारे भाई?
Walaikum assalam. Wonderful, brother. How about you?
ठीक ठीक, किदां जी मेरे पंजाबी लोगों ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ?
Yeah, पंजाबी च चल पवो, कोई मसला नहीं है। इस शो इंग्लिश चले आ।
Okay. Sounds
Okay,
good.
you can go ahead, whatever the way you like, bro.
Yeah, and so I also listened to the program, and Yahya Muhammad Khan, or whatever his name is, he doesn't know anything. He hasn't read. He basically said that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad cussed at the Christians because they said disrespectful things about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? But he was on their side. You know, we say in Urdu, "Asare andru rale samsare," right? So and in America, at the din galiyan de rahe ne, America ja ke kuch nahi kande, right? So yeah, those are my only comments so far. Back to you, brother Shams, or to the sister. Right? Does that sound good? Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Bashir bhai, I want to ask one question from you because I think you are dwelling in USA. Am I right?
Right.
Well, I have a question, and that regards with the population of the Qadiani. There are different figures. What I find on the internet, what I find in the books. So, what is your perspective about the raise in the population? Are those people who are accepting Qadianiat in USA? Could you please give your comments?
Oh, Americans have rejected it. Totally. Americans, white people, African Americans, Mexican Americans have totally rejected it. Afghani Americans, you know, in America, the biggest population of Afghanis outside of Afghanistan is in America and in the state that I'm in California. So Afghanis have rejected it. Everyone has rejected it. Christians have rejected it. Jews have rejected it. Sikhs, our Punjabi brothers have rejected it. So all they have is asylum. This is what Yahya Khan is doing. He's saying, oh, you know, all these bad things are happening to us in Pakistan. He's lying. In Pakistan, Ahmadis have the best jobs. Always, since the country was created, if you were an Ahmadi, it was beneficial. It was an easy way to get a job. So yeah, they've totally failed. But for their business, they're doing good. In Canada, their business is going good. In the UK, it's going good. In the next 10 years, it could go down because all the old Ahmadis that came here in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s, they're all going to die off. That entire generation that gave all the chanda, that did all these things is going to go. Then they're going to be in trouble. So that would be the current state of affairs. They're also trying for political office. They're a politician is a guy named Qasim Rashid. Their top lawyer is a Harvard lawyer named Amjad Khan. He's a grandson of a Murabbi. They have about 50 employees in America and about 15,000 Qadiani Ahmadis in America. They applied for the PPP loan. So in America, during the pandemic, a lot of businesses went down. So if your business went down, you could apply to the government and say, we need money to keep our business going, even if it's a non-profit. So remember, in America, it's something called non-profit corporation. In Pakistan, they don't have these, right? Maybe Shams Uddin can tell us, or the sister can tell us. In America, in Canada, and the UK, probably in Germany, they're non-profit corporations. Legally, like that's their legal position. So they applied for, I think it was $500,000. They got $500,000 from the U.S. government to pay their Murabbis because they said they couldn't afford it during the pandemic. So that's sort of their report here in America. Yeah, I hope I answered that question.
Yeah, I'm sorry for interruption. Somebody's mic needs to be muted. I just want to ask a question. Whoever likes to answer, either Brother Bashir or sister or Dr. Samar Rizvi Sahib. I don't get it that if somebody mocks the prophets or Al-Bait or Ashab or Ummahatul Mu'mineen, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani actually mocked a lot. And when they say that when he blamed and he mocked Jesus Christ, they say that all was in retaliation. That all was ilzami rang mein. Ilzami rang mein. What is that narrative? Who created that narrative? Where did they get this narrative from? From Quran? From Hadith? How do they prove it? Mirza Ghulam Qadiani mocked Hazrat Imam Hussain al-Islam, and he used derogatory remarks. I can't really dare to say that. What he said about Imam Hussain, that is a pile of rubbish, and he called himself a fragrance. Did ever Al-Bait, their family, did they ever mock Mirza Ghulam Qadiani? He wasn't even born then. So anybody, any of the brothers, would you like to answer my questions? What is this ilzami rangame or in retaliation? What is it?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's total nonsense. It's you know, it's like if you're playing cricket or if you're playing basketball and you're talking to the other guy, it's that sort of thing. So not really, not something a prophet would do.
No, they wouldn't. And you think it's just set up, the standard is set up by, it's a self-created thing, it's set up by them, no one else. I never heard anybody saying that the prophet of God retaliated in a way that somebody used a derogatory language, and the prophet is doing the same thing. Holy, when Ziyar Rasul enters there, and Shams Bhai's cousin, what is the name of this guy? Dr. Yahya.
Dr.
Yahya.
I call him a doctor, but
I'm so sorry. He says that, I don't want to either. He says that either other Maulvis, other Sufis, they also use the same derogatory language. So he compared himself, his prophet, so-called prophet or Nabi or whatever, with the Sufis, with the Maulvis. So what we have been telling them, that's our narrative, that he was a Maulvi. He was just an abusive thing. He used to use abusive language. That's what kind he was. So why you guys accept him as a nabi or as a prophet? And the language he used about Ummahat al-Mu'mineen, about Ashab, about Al-Abad, was that in retaliation? Was that ilzami rang mein?
Right. Hey,
Perhaps
so
Can they
can
justify?
I,
not.
I'm sorry, sister. Can I add a point? So in 1880,
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes,
Oh,
sister, you can go
Well,
ahead,
you may
please.
proceed, please.
sure. Babar Bhai and sister, in 1880, the
Yeah.
Hindus wrote a book called Satariya Prakash. Did I say that properly? Who's read that book? Well, in that book,
I have no clue, brother. Never gone through this. Anyways,
yeah. So so in that book, the Hindus said these things about Jesus Christ and about Islam. They went all out and they wrote bad things about Islam and Christianity. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad used the same arguments that they used. They said that Jesus was a drunk, astaghfirullah, and etc. They said all these things, right? So Mirza Ghulam Ahmad simply copied them, which a Muslim is not supposed to do. So that's where it came from. If you're interested to read about British India, you got to read Satariya Prakash, which was written by, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's also it was written by Dayanand Saraswati, and he put forward these arguments about Jesus Christ. Said he was a drunkard, he was this, he was that, based on the Bible. So before that, when the Christians came to British India, there was a famous Christian missionary called Pafander, and I think it's pronounced Fander, but it's spelled with a P, so it's spelled Pfandr. And he had a public debate with Rahmatullah Karwanvi, and Rahmatullah Karwanvi got kicked out of British India by the British because he responded to their arguments. And so that's sort of the background of what was happening in British India. Now, my research tells me, why did Mirza Ghulam Ahmad say these things? He says it in Tiryaq al-Qulub. I'm going to send Shams Uddin, or I'll send you the reference. He says the only reason he did it was because he was afraid Muslims might try to kill Christians or something. But the story is Mirza Ghulam Ahmad and the Christian missionaries were in cahoots. They were both attacking Islam, both
Exactly.
trying to make Islam look bad, and Mirza Ghulam Ahmad was helping them. He lost the debate with Atom. Then he cussed at Christians. Then he cussed at Muslims, because Muslims were, Christians are closer to us than Ahmadis. So we supported Atom in this debate. We don't support Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. We support Atom. Of course we do, because Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is 10 times worse. So when Mirza Ghulam Ahmad called people Kuttiyan and Hinzir, he was calling Muslims because we help, or we like Atom over Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. So he was just trying to start trouble. That's my research. And I'm sorry for going on.
that's the point I got, brother. The point I want to bring up, I want to come up with the point that we, the Muslims, we follow Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and we use those all words. You are a Jew, you are a miser, you do this way, you do that way all day. But when the Christians, they mock our prophet, they draw cartoons, they do a lot of bad things, but we never do anything in retaliation. We know that Moses, we know that Jesus, they are our superstars. They are the true prophets of God. We would never retaliate, even the Christians now, that we will never draw any cartoon of Jesus Christ. He is our superstar. Why would we do that? But
And it's a
the
great
person they
tragedy
call,
that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani has levied heinous accusations against Jesus Christ. He's called him ignorant, naughty, mentally retarded, arrogant, drunkard, immoral. But the Christians are just silent. Perhaps they don't know about it, or they deceive them by giving the same, comments and claims that we are not talking about Jesus Christ. In fact, so let's play the video. I think we should play the video with the permission of Shamsuddin Saab, and then we will have comments on that video.
को थोड़ी सी बात करनी थी, कोई बात नहीं। ज़रा रसूल साहब बोलें।
आप मुझे बताएं, यहाँ इस तहरीर में कौन से ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की बात हो रही है? ईसाइयों के झूठे खुदा की बात हो रही है या हजरत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम जिनका जिक्र कुरान में उनकी बात हो रही है? बताएं जरा।
जी 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 जनाब। जी ज़रा रसूल साहब, मैं वो तहरीर
टाइम मेरा है, मुझे सिर्फ अपने टाइम में से इस बात का जवाब दे दें, कौन से हजरत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की बात हो रही है?
ओहो ज़रा रसूल साहब, जिस तहरीर के जिस हिस्से में ईसाई मुखातब हैं वहाँ पर ईसाइयों के खुदा की बात हो रही है। जिस हिस्से में आप जैसे वो मौलवी मुखातब है जो एक मिनट, मैं
ईसाइयों का नहीं पूछ रहा, मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ, यहाँ मिर्जा साहब ने ये लिखा है तो कुरान में खुदा ने उनका नाम किसों की वजह से नहीं रखा? ये कौन से ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की बात है?
ये वो ईसाइयों के खुदा के ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम वाली बात है।
ईसाइयों का खुदा की ले जी 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 सारे लोग सुन ले। याह्या साहब ने फरमाया कि ये ईसाइयों के खुदा की। मुझे याह्या साहब बताएं, ईसाइयों का खुदा कौन है?
ईसाइयों का खुदा कौन है?
ईसाई किसको खुदा मानते हैं? ईसाई किसको खुदा मानते हैं?
अच्छा 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 अच्छा, ये आज का टॉपिक है मुहतरम। ईसाई उसी को खुदा मानते हैं।
फंस गई जान इस कंजे अंदर से, गिने बहन ने अब आप करेंगे टॉपिक है, आपने खुद कहा कि
it is very obvious during this conversation that Dr. Yahya is very much confused at this point, because he is trying to deceive the general public by giving a claim that this discussion is not about Jesus Christ alayhi salam, who is a sacred prophet. Rather, we have given these allegations and all these false accusations against a very, takhayulati, a dreamed personality, a god of Christians, whatever he tried to say. So he has tried to deceive the public, and how Zia Rasool Sahab has, tried to pick him from the, he tried to refute him, and he tried to tell the general public that Dr. Yahya is also telling a lie. He is trying to deceive you all. We are talking about a particular reference out of the book of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, volume 18, and where it is clearly written that Quran named Prophet Yahya as Hasura, and this name was not given to Jesus Christ because of all these incidents that he has mentioned earlier in the same book. And he said that he was not a pious person. He was, he was very bad person with immoral characteristics, and he had relationships with the prostitutes, nauzubillah min zalik. So just look at how Dr. Yahya was trying to defend Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, and in the very next...
I'm so sorry, sister. I'm so sorry. I'm cutting you off. The thing is, once Dr. Yahya, he admits that is the same person, Jesus and Yesu, but he tries to cheat. He says, status-wise or position-wise, they are different. And Zia Rasool makes another smart move. It's a really smart move. It says we are not discussing here the status or position of the person. We are the thing under discussion is he the same individual or they are two different individuals? Yeah.
Exactly. This was what Zia Rasool did. He asked another question, and now let us see how Dr. Yahya then tried to deceive and then refuted again against the Ahmadiyya community. How he tried to jump again and again, but he could not. Let us play the next part of that stream.
I'm talking.
गल सुन ले म्यूट करो इनको
like a stampede. They are so desperate. Mute करो
यार, म्यूट करो इसको।
मैंने आपसे पूछा ईसाई किसको खुदा
जी मतलब दोस्तों
अब
आपने देखा
म्यूट ना करें मुझे, अब म्यूट ना करें याया साहब ना, आपका पोल खुल गया
ना
है।
ना
आपने
ना
अपनी
ना ना
जुबान
अच्छा
से
चलिए
कहा,
चल चल
आपने अपनी जुबान से ये इकरार किया है कि यहाँ
जी
ईसाइयों
जी
के खुदा जिनको ईसाई खुदा मानते हैं
What a
उनकी बात
way.
हो रही है। मेरा
जी
सवाल
जी
है,
जी
ईसाई
जी
किसको खुदा मानते हैं? बताएं
जी
जरा।
मैं बिल्कुल मैं
What
इसका
a way.
जवाब दे देता हूँ
मैं कुरान से
ईसाई
बताऊंगा आपको ईसाई किसको खुदा मानते हैं।
जी 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 अगर जी आपने टॉपिक से आप दौड़ गए हैं
Yeah.
जो
टॉपिक
हमारा
से नहीं,
मौजूद था उस
वही
पर
टॉपिक।
How confused Yahya Sahib is here. He's just confused. He has nothing to say.
वही टॉपिक आपने कहा, आपने खुद कहा कि ये फलां
ज़िया रसूल साहब जरा सब्र कर लें। ज़िया रसूल साहब बात ये है और मेरे प्यारे भाइयों जो सुन रहे हैं, हजरत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की शख्सियत इस्लाम और जो ईसाई हैं मतलब इनमें एक ऐसी शख्सियत है जो कि कॉमन है, ठीक है। इनके नाम भी कॉमन है। हम भी ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम कहते हैं, ईसाई भी ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम कहते हैं, जो इंडिया पाकिस्तान के जो ईसाई हैं वो ईसाई कहते हैं, ठीक है। मसीह भी कहते हैं, जीसस कहते हैं, मुख्तलिफ नाम है एक ही शख्सियत के। जो हमारे और ईसाइयों के दरमियान नाम एक ही है, मुश्तरक है। इसलिए आप खुद भी ना ज़िया रसूल साहब जो है वो कंफ्यूज हों और लोगों को भी कंफ्यूज करने की कोशिश ना करें।
बड़ी मेहरबानी, मैं आपका
There we go. That's all about it. Wait. That's what he wanted to know. And then he twists the fact saying that they have different positions, different whatever. It's the same person. And he knew that if he refuses it, Ziarsul certainly will give a reference from Mirza Ghulam Ahmad's writings that he has admitted it. That is the same person. So it's not like that just came out of his mouth, or he just did it intentionally or unknowingly. He knew that. He will get stuck in a strait. Somebody needs to be muted actually. So anyways.
Here, I would like to ask one question because I find myself the most junior person on this forum, the most junior because all of you are expert in Qadianiat, especially Shams Bhai, Sister Sahiba, Bhatt Sahab, and our Bashir Bhai. My question is that it is very much evident, it is very much explicit, coherent. I don't know. There are so many words I can use for this in this kind of stream. Everything is visible. Everything is pronounced, self-evident. Even then, what is the reason that people like this, Dr. Yahya, Taryakul Kulub, Jari Saab, they know it is very much evident that Mirza Saab did blasphemy of the prophets, especially of Jesus Christ. What is the thing which is keeping them lay off, which is keeping them hindering from accepting Islam or rejecting their teachings? So I am asking as a junior person, all of you, I want reply from all of you. Thank you.
Yeah,
This
Brother
is very
Bashir, you
evident
want to
that these are
answer?
all very blasphemous. Okay, please.
Oh, you can go ahead, sister, please. Yeah. I just want to add up one thing. We have been a part of this cult. We know we have our brothers and sisters, they're stuck in there in the mud. They want to actually defend their ego, their self-respect, that they have been debating all their life and they have been defending all their life, Mirza Qadiani, and now if they give it up, they're gonna be like the people gonna laugh at them, or the people will just ask them what you have been doing all their life. Although it's not a big thing, we did it. We showed them that we changed ourselves. We accepted Islam. It's just a psychological thing. It's not a big thing how long it takes to do that. It takes longer to tap on a table than to accept Islam. You can just say, I give it up, I leave it, and that's it. But they don't want to dare to say that. It's all psychological pressure. Some of them, they think they will leave they will lose their sisters, they will lose their wives, they will lose their kids. I mean, that doesn't matter. What you're gonna do, you wanna do it for Allah, not for the sisters and brothers. But anyways, I can't further comment in. Brother Bashir is here, sister, and I see another friend. If they want to comment, if they want to answer, Brother Rizwi.
Perhaps it was because Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani was very expert in taking sharp U-turns. So all the peoples of Ahmadiya, the Ahmadiyya community, are still confused what to accept and what to deny. So this might be one of the reasons.
Yeah, you may say so, sister. The thing is, people still ask me, what was your dad? What was your grandpa? Well, I just simply answer they were innocent. They got trapped. They got trapped in this mud. So I don't want to be the victim of same people all my life. If I don't stand against it, somebody's going to do that in my children or in my grandchildren. So they should do it as soon as they can. A lot of people, they are actually getting out of it, and they now, because of social media, because of our efforts, and because of the wisdom they are developing now, they have a lot of knowledge about it. At one stage, people, they thought that he was just a Imam Mahdi, and in 74 they were exposed actually, and people came to know a lot about them. Then the people quit. And then now, even in 84, when Mirza Tahir fled away to UK and left his followers there, the people, they quit Qadianiat, and now they are quitting so quick. And a lot of people, when we ask them, hang on, that what did impress you? They say they went through his writings, and they're full of controversy. He's probably the most controversial person in the world. Whatever he said, he turned to 180 degrees and he said against it. So now the people have come to know the reality, and they cannot survive. I see that Qadianiyat is disappearing now. Their graph is going downward, and it's really going so fast downward. It's not like a slowly downward. They can't survive now. No way. Thank you.
बहुत शुक्रिया बाबर भट्ट साहब। दो साथी हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं, तो मैं बाबर भट्ट साहब आपसे कहूँगा, काशिफ साहब भी हैं, शहजाद हमीद साहब भी हैं, मुख्तसर वक्त के लिए इनसे लेकर इनकी राय ले लीजिए।
जी शम्स भाई साहब, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। आपके होते हुए आपने मुझे ये एजाज बख्शा है। आप माशाल्लाह उस्तादों के उस्ताद हैं, तो मैं आपका बड़ा मशकूर हूँ। काशिफ भाई साहब और दूसरे भाई साहब, मैं असल में सेल फोन पे हूँ और बाहर हूँ, तो रोशनी में मुझे कुछ नहीं पता चल रहा।
चले इंशाल्लाह मैं कहता हूँ काशिफ साहब को ले लेते पहले। अस्सलाम वालेकुम काशिफ साहब।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। शम्स भाई, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
जी आपकी आवाज आ रही है। तो चूंकि आज सेशन जो है वो इंग्लिश का है, आपने सुना होगा, तो फरमाइए लेक्चर के बारे में आप क्या कहते हैं।
मेरा ख्याल है इंग्लिश के लेक्चर को इंग्लिश में ही जवाब देता हूँ।
यस जी
yes, I just started late, actually, I'm very busy for last 2 weeks for my work and other things, but I just started with the lecture of Vice Spirit Sahiba, and I listened the whole lecture, and I really congratulate and admire and appreciate Vice Spirit Sahiba for delivering such a great lecture as always. The good thing of her lecture is she always delivers precise lecture and to the point lecture, and in which such a short time span she concludes her lecture. Today she really started very well, as always. She took references from Quran and Hadith, and then from the books of Mirza Qadiani. And I just listened at how she referenced from Quran, that how Quran proves and how Quran says and talks about the respect and honor of Isa alayhi salam and Maryam alayhi salam. And after narrating Quran and Hadith about their respect and honor and their status, she went through the books of Mirza Qadiani, and she mentioned about what sort of derogatory remarks Mirza Qadiani passed regarding Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, who is definitely a prophet of Allah, and we do believe in it. And this is our iman that if we deny any of the prophet, we don't stay as Muslims. But as Muslims, we do honor Hazrat Isa alayhi salam and Mary alayhi salam. And then definitely, sister really concluded it very well, mentioning that how Mirza Qadiani is just making these false claims, and even he is declining his own statements. As Babul Bhatbai said that Mirza Qadiani was used to decline his statements 180 degree. So definitely, it was mentioned by Pai Spirit Saiba that how he made some statements in his books, and then he denied those statements as well, and he also misinterpreted Bible, and he really stated those derogatory remarks against Islam. And then these Qadiani, who are the followers of Mirza Qadiani, they are in a lot of trouble. That they are always uh, trying to misinterpret and trying to give some other notion about the wrong statements of Mirza Qadiani. And I think Pai Spirit Sahiba really did very well, and definitely credit goes to you people, Shams Bhai and Zia Rasool Amini Sahib, who let your cousin to utter against that claim of 132 years. So this is truly fantastic job, and you, Shams Bhai, Dr. Samar Rizvi Sahab, and Pai Spirit Sahiba, Babar Bhatt Bhai, you people are really appreciated and admired that day by day you are exposing Qadianiyat to the extent they must be exposed. And I think in the speed and the way and the method you are just doing, I think Qadianis has to bury their sins in this. And especially, I do congratulate you. And I'm also happy today that I am also seeing over here the presence of Babar Bhatt Bhai, and I've been missing him in your streams, and this is truly nice to listen him. And he also gave a very good view after the lecture of Vice Spirit Saiba. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, brother.
Jazakallah, Jazakallah.
बहुत शुक्रिया काशिफ भाई आपका। तो अब हम वापस चलते हैं डॉक्टर समर रिजवी साहब की तरफ। डॉक्टर सैयद समर रिजवी साहब, बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। आप सफ़र में थे मगर उसके बावजूद आपने स्ट्रीम में शिरकत की। तो मैं आप तमाम अहबाब का नहायत मशकूर हूँ कि सब ने अपने कीमती टाइम में से टाइम निकाला और एक बहुत अच्छी बात जो हम कादियानी अवाम के सामने रखना चाहते थे वो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह रखी है। तो आखिरी कलामात जो हैं वो डॉक्टर समर रिजवी साहब जो कादियानियों को पैगाम देंगे इस टीम के ज़रिए से, सारा कुछ जो इन्होंने देखा। तो उसके बाद डॉक्टर समर रिजवी साहब तमाम अहबाब का शुक्रिया अदा करते हुए इनसे इजाज़त चाहेंगे और फिर मैं आखिर में मुख्तसर दुआ करवाऊंगा और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह स्ट्रीम का इख्तिताम कर देंगे। जी डॉक्टर समर रिजवी साहब।
जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, जज़ाकल्लाह खैर। हमारा मकसद सिर्फ यही है कि हम कुरान और हदीस का पैगाम आगे पहुंचाएं आप हजरात को, जो हमारे कादियानी बहन भाई हैं। हमारी आपसे कोई पर्सनल कन्फ्लिक्ट तो है नहीं, कोई हमारी लड़ाई तो किसी किस्म की है नहीं।
डॉक्टर साहब इंग्लिश में आप ये पैगाम पहुंचा दें, जो कि ये प्रोग्राम सारा इंग्लिश वालों के लिए हो रहा है ना।
Yes,
शुक्रिया।
I would like to only say that the basic aim of this stream is to convey the message of Almighty Allah and His Messenger, and we don't have any kind of personal conflict with you. So I request all my sisters and brothers coming from the Qadiani sect, they should listen to our streams, they should ponder on it, and we pray that may Almighty Allah show you the right path. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair.
बहुत शुक्रिया। तमाम अफराद दुरूद पाक पढ़ लें, एक दफ़ा फिर मुख्तसर दुआ करवाते हैं। اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ڈاکٹر صاحب ایک اور ریکویسٹ آپ سے کروں گا کہ آج بہت سے لوگوں نے حج کا فریضہ ادا کیا ہے اور کل وہ الحمدللہ ان کی عید بھی ہوگی مختلف جگہوں پہ سب کو ہماری اس ٹیم کے ذریعے سے جن لوگوں نے حج کیا ہے ان کو آپ اردو میں بھی اور انگلش میں بھی ایک دفعہ مبارکباد دے دیں. ڈاکٹر سمر رضوی صاحب آپ کو میری آواز آ رہی ہے؟
Yes, yes, please. All those who have gone to perform this Hajj, mashallah, I would like to convey my heartiest felicitations and congratulations on this auspicious occasion, mashallah. You did your Hajj, may Allah accept your Hajj, and we want to say you Eid Mubarak. Jazakallah khair. Thank you, ji. وہ تمام حضرات جو حج ماشاءاللہ آج انہوں نے کیا ہے تو ان کو دلی مبارکباد اور اللہ تعالیٰ ان کا حج قبول فرمائے اور تمام افراد کو عید مبارک انشاءاللہ. السلام علیکم.
وعلیکم السلام ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. ربنا آتنا فی الدنیا حسنۃ وفی الآخرۃ حسنۃ وقنا عذاب النار وقنا عذاب النار وقنا عذاب النار وقنا عذاب القبر وقنا عذاب القبر وقنا عذاب المیزان وقنا عذاب المیزان. اللهم اجرنا من النار اللهم اجرنا من النار. لا الہ الا انت سبحانک انی کنت من الظالمین. لا الہ الا انت سبحانک انی کنت من الظالمین. ربنا ظلمنا انفسنا وان لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرین. یا حی یا قیوم برحمتک استغیث. یا حی یا قیوم برحمتک استغیث. یا اللہ جتنی بھی خیر بھلائیں جتنی بھی خیر بھلائیں امام الانبیاء فخر الانبیاء محمد عربی صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم نے اپنی اس امت کے لیے مانگی ہیں. یا اللہ وہ ساری خیر بھلائیں اس امت کو عطا فرما دے. یا اللہ وہ ساری بھلائیں اس امت کو عطا فرما دے. یا اللہ اس امت کو بھی توفیق عطا فرما دے. یا اللہ اس امت کو بھی توفیق عطا فرما دے کہ یا اللہ یہ امت جو ہے خلوص دل کے ساتھ اتفاق کے ساتھ کسی بھی فرقہ واریت میں پڑے بغیر یا اللہ ٹھیک ٹھیک نبی پاک صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم کے بتائے ہوئے راستے پہ چلنے کی کوشش کرے اور اس پر عمل کرے. یا اللہ جتنے فسادات سے شرور سے لڑائی جھگڑوں سے نبی پاک صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم نے آپ کی پناہ مانگی ہے جن جن شرور سے آپ کی پناہ مانگی ہے یا اللہ تمام مسلمانوں کو اپنی پناہ عطا فرما دیجئے. یا اللہ آج بڑا اہم دن تھا لوگوں نے حج ادا کیا ہے. آج اس دن کی برکت سے یا اللہ ہم اپنے تمام گناہوں کی تجھ سے معافی چاہتے ہیں. یا اللہ جو لوگ جو بزرگ صحیح العقیدہ اور الحمدللہ اگر بالکل ٹھیک اپنے دین پر چلتے ہوئے یا اللہ وہ آج قبروں میں چلے گئے ہیں، اگر ان سے بھی کوئی غلطی کوتاہی ہوئی ہے دین کے معاملے میں ہوئی ہے دنیاوی معاملے میں ہوئی ہے یا اللہ ان سب کو معاف فرما دے. آج کے دن کی برکت سے ان کو معاف فرما دے اور ان کو قبروں کو منور فرما دے. ان کی قبروں کو جنت کا ایک باغ بنا دے. یا اللہ ان سب کی مغفرت فرما دے. یا اللہ جو لوگ قادیانی نہیں ہیں مگر پھر بھی دین سے دور جا رہے ہیں کسی بھی قسم کی غلطی کی وجہ سے یا اللہ آج کے دن کی برکت سے یا اللہ ان سب کو دین اسلام کی طرف لے آ. ان سب کو ہدایت عطا فرما دے. یا اللہ آج کے دن کی برکت سے یا اللہ ان تمام قادیانیوں کو بلکہ تمام غیر مسلموں کو ہدایت عطا فرما دے اور ان کو اسلام میں داخل کر دے. یا اللہ میرے والدین کو دین اسلام کی دولت عطا فرما دے. یا اللہ ہم گناہ گار ہیں خطا کار ہیں پھر بھی معافی کے طلبگار ہیں. یا اللہ پیلو ویس کے علاقے میں ہمارے ایک نو مسلم بھائی نے قادیانیت چھوڑ کر اسلام قبول کیا ہے بلکہ 2 بھائیوں نے کیا ہے. یا اللہ ان کو استقامت عطا فرما دے. یا اللہ ان کو استقامت عطا فرما دے، یا اللہ ہم سب کو استقامت عطا فرما دے۔ یا رب العالمین، جو لوگ کسی بھی وجہ سے کوئی مالی پریشانی ہے، بچوں کی پریشانی ہے، بچیوں کے رشتے کی پریشانی ہے، کسی بھی قسم کی پریشانی ہے، یا اللہ آج بہت مبارک دن ہے، ہم تجھ سے دعا کرتے ہیں یا اللہ ان تمام مسلمانوں کی وہ پریشانی دور فرما دے، یا اللہ ان تمام مسلمانوں کی وہ پریشانیاں دور فرما دے، یا اللہ ہمارے علم میں، عمل میں، رزق حلال میں برکت اور اضافہ عطا فرما دے۔ وما علینا الا البلاغ المبین۔ السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ۔